Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation.
Today we're covering the Pokemon miniseries, Pokemon Hisuian Snow.
Now this is a 3-part OVA series set in the Hisui period of Pokemon in the Ancient Age, and it follows a young man named Alec who reminisces the time he saved a forest spirit Pokemon as a boy during his return trip to his homeland.
And before we get started, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell on future podcasts and all the pause videos.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us, subscribing, and sharing our content. We appreciate you so much.
Yes.
We owe a big thanks to Sylvian for telling us about this on X or Twitter or Twix. And we immediately went to find it and we immediately watched it. So thank you so much, Sylvia.
Yes, thank you. And never knew this existed. We knew about some other short run miniseries they had available on YouTube, but this one just slipped past us.
This originally was released in 2022 on YouTube, where you can still watch it.
Yes.
As well as Pokemon TV by the Pokemon Company. And each episode runs between 6 and 12 minutes, so they're not all the same length.
Right.
And it's really actually pretty good. The reason we first wanted to see it is because she mentioned that she never thought she'd see a dark Pokemon series.
Right.
Well, of course, that got us interested. We found it on YouTube, and we immediately went a couple of days later and watched all 3 at the same time.
Yes. And you could watch it all as like one mini movie, really, because when you watch one after the other, minus credits, it still flows like one story. And it starts off with Alec going to his homeland, and we kind of got a little confused at first because we showed him as a kid. We thought it was some other kid at first,
Right.
and realized, oh no, they're telling you a backstory, so it leads up to the last episode where it takes place in the present. And in here, this is taking place during the time, was the ancient age, when the Pokemon and humans did not get along. So it was a long time before it got to now where they're living in harmony and all that. Here, they actually did not like each other, and the reason why, and the main part in here, is that there were points where humans did kill Pokemon, either out of fear or accident.
And that was definitely dark.
Yeah, and in here, one kills one of the younger ones, and the one that's, I think, a Zorak.
Zora.
Yeah, and then you're usually seen protecting a younger version or his kid.
Which we became familiar with one of the earlier Pokemon movies.
Right, and when this happened, it went into a rage and banished all humans from the forest, and it became literally something else that wasn't even a Pokemon anymore. It became, I guess, like a vengeful spirit, which was something really dark for this. And it said don't go into the woods, especially at night, which sounds like a horror right there, because either people don't come back or they come back different, because whenever a human steps foot in there, it attacks them. It doesn't want them harming any more of the Pokemon that live there.
So the first one is called Onto the Icy Blue. Or Transliteration Spring Trek Upon Icy Blue. The second is Fiery Reflections of Snow, where he befriends the Zora and he helps him heal his injuries using a medicinal plant, and they work together to get back up.
Right. And this is where
his dad was not very pleased.
Right. And this is where you see the beginnings. I'm assuming it's like the beginnings of when the Pokemon would begin to work together with the humans, because up to this point they had been enemies or territorial. And when Alec helps this little Pokemon, what's it called, the Zora? The Zora, it comes out looking like someone from Halloween game or something, hilariously, and it's still cute and everything, and you're still kind of wondering what is this creature. And when the two end up working together, it ends up being like the very first version of the little trope we see where when a human saves the Pokemon gets attached to the human. Well, it happens in here still, but it doesn't have the ending where the Pokemon will want to travel with the human for the rest of its time after it's been helped. And here it still goes back to the forest because of the spirit of the Zorak still in there and still having anger towards humans, but it's assumed that as you watch it, it lets it know that it wasn't in danger and it doesn't have to harm the humans. So by the time it gets to the final part, it gets
two hues or indigo.
Right. It begins to have the point where the times finally start changing for the relationship with the Pokemon when they have these two look like these ancient ones that are beginning to fight, and it's affecting the forest, both the Pokemon and the humans, and it's so much dark energy that it's spreading throughout the entire region to the point where they don't know if they'll be able to even stay there anymore.
And Alec hopes to reconnect with that Zora he befriended a long time ago.
Right.
And his goal is to help to find humans and Pokemon a way to live together in that region.
Right.
So he
wants to be
Ash 0.0.
Right. And a little bit of Brock, because he's also, I think they said or hinted that he's also wanted to be a doctor, a Pokemon doctor. And they said, why would you waste your time with that? And they don't even interact with Pokemon. So when he left the village, he went to pursue that and be in other areas where they weren't territorial with Pokemon and having this animosity. So when he comes back, he's able to help both the Pokemon and the people when they're in danger and injured. So it's almost like you're seeing a little bit of Pokemon lore or history in here. Like, how did the Pokemon and humans working together that they always talk about in the movies and the seasons, how did that come about? Well, it looks like, I guess, the little seed was planted with these two characters, and then eventually was spread to humans working together with the creatures.
Definitely. So the voice cast, there's an English dub as well as original Japanese.
Right.
For Alec, you have Chris Hackney and Lizzie Freeman with Tempest Young, and Japanese Koki Ukimaya and Ria Kogemiya. Mm-hmm. Alec's father is voiced by Steve Kramer in English and Rikia Koyama in Japanese. Celine's voiced by Alexandra Yadashok in English and Romy Pak in Japanese. And for the Pokemon, Zorua, Rikako Aikawa, and Garchomp is voiced by Shinanosuke Agami.
Right.
So you have a really short voice cast here. You have very few characters.
Yeah, there's only like 5.
You have a short voice cast. But I think it's really well done because when you finish watching, you feel like you've actually watched a movie.
Yeah.
Not just 3 short episodes that are being put together as a special event. You feel like you've watched a movie.
True. And it really shows how well thought out it was. And this is one of the many examples that prove that the people making Pokemon can do shows and movies that are great, even if Ash is not the central point of it. They've done it with Twilight Wings. They did it with Detective Pikachu. They've done it with Concierge. Right now, people really are enjoying Pokemon Horizons. We'll have to go back to it at a later point to see how it turned out. And people did enjoy Hisuian Snow. It's just not as talked about as the other mini series, I guess, because it's a lot shorter than the rest. But it does show that this world can expand so much and tell you so much more with each thing they show, whether it be lore or history or what ifs, or in the case of some of the latter movies, like different scenarios and takes on the story and still keep you engaged.
Fun fact, this was animated by what studio?
Oh, and one of the animation was really high quality, even though it was short.
And the music is by Konish, and there is a Japanese composer, arranger, music producer, pianist, and keyboardist.
Oh my gosh,
so
would you not?
One person did all of it. And he actually has a pretty long discography, including Pokemon Horizons, the series is also doing the music for that.
Yes.
Has also worked in some of the Yu-Gi-Oh series as well, so there you go.
Yes, well there you go. And like I said, can't wait to see more of these shorter series. We know we haven't watched all of them. We've watched 2 or 3 of them so far, and there's still a few more left. Now we're about to approach the end of watching Ash's run for Pokemon, and we've watched just about all the movies. We still got a little bit left extra, as I guess you could say little side ones before we actually complete all of this.
Yes, so if you've seen Pokemon Hisuian Snow, let us know in the comments what you think. Did you enjoy it? Did you like having a departure from Ash's story into something that is an ancient lore?
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. If you haven't seen it, again, it's available on YouTube to watch. All 3 parts, dubbed or subbed.
Right.
Go watch it if you haven't. Come back and let us know what you think in the comments.
Right. And if you aren't already, subscribe for updates and movie reviews for your anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Yes, and thank you so much for watching and sharing. Feel free to share this one as well. It helps our channel a lot. And, you know, we love you guys because
You're special. Thank you so much for watching Rascal Entertainment.
And Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.